Hello, this is going to be an unboxing and my first impression of the new 2019 Razer Blade 15 Advanced with the 4K OLED panel and the GTX 2080 Max-Q video card. Although I do have a little bit of a concern about the packaging, when I received it, I just realized that there's a little bit of a dent on the side of this box here. And worse still, when I open the box, there's a dent on the actual box itself containing the laptop. Hopefully there'll be adequate padding within the box that it won't be an issue, but I'm just going to have to see for myself now. Anyway, so here we go. Let me open that box up. So for today's unboxing knife will be my Leatherman Wave, the new version. And let's get this sucker open. And here's the side with the small dent on it. Let's open her up. And see what kind of padding is in this. Hopefully it's well padded. So that is does look like it has some pretty good padding there. And the laptop doesn't even come up to that edge. We have this accessory container and some thick pads that go all the way up to the front. So, looking good. Yeah, whatever impact happened that caused a dent definitely I don't think would have impacted the laptop itself. So let's continue on. It's a pretty heavy laptop. It's all metal construction, thin and light. This feels like cardboard. Alright, interesting. So this isn't the laptop yet that I'm at. There's another internal box. You have the Razer logo. And a little slip. It's magnetic closure. It's glossy because I've got a nice little film on here. Let me lean this over. The pièce de résistance, the Razer laptop. It's a really nice looking laptop. And we have, alright, that's all. Let's see what's in the sleeve here. Thank you for choosing our Razer system. Again, this is the Razer Blade 15 Advanced. It has a 60 Hz 4K OLED touchscreen panel. Not sure what this thing is. And let's have a look at there. Very tiny print on this manual. Yeah, it has a the power button there. So, a quick riffle through the manual. I don't expect you'll really be able to see it. You could probably download the manual online if you really needed to see that. But let's get on to what's important now. See what other accessories we have. So let's open this up. Alright, it doesn't look like I need the knife for it. It has an arrow. Peel that off. Okay. Here's your power brick. That's empty. And your cord. Now let's close the blade here. Close the top. Move this to the side for now. And let's have a look at the laptop itself. Now let me adjust my physical position to everything so it'll be easier to do this. Here's the back side. Your cooling comes through the bottom, so when you use this laptop you do not want to put it on a bed or suffocate the bottom of the unit. All metal. This is a rubber pad, feels like. And it has a cover over the keyboard. Here are your side ports. So let me first open this up, then I'll do some shots of the sides of the laptop while it's stationary on the desk. Here's your touchscreen OLED panel. This is an eyesight camera, 720p eyesight camera. So you can use Windows Hello. It does the whole infrared thing. And one of the nice things about OLED panels, you know, it's a full HDR, full Adobe gamut, you know, color gamut, and you're not going to have any bleeding edges because there's no backlight. It's just everything is individually lit. When you have a black portion of the screen, there's no light going through. Only the pixels that need to be on will be on. I don't know if you can hear the sound of the keys. It's fairly low travel, so it's not really my ideal keyboard. I mean, I prefer something with a little bit more travel to it, but I mean, it's okay. It's something I can get used to. And the trackpad is roughly centered, not like offset like on the Aero 15X that I had purchased. So, and this is an Intel Precision trackpad too, so that'll work a lot better as well. I believe this is the power. So before I power it up, I don't even know if there's a charge in it right now, but before I power it, let me just try to give you some angles on the laptop. Lower her down. I'm doing all this real time rather than doing a bunch of cuts. So you have your USB 3, HDMI connectors, Thunderbolt as well. Here's a Kensington port. And yeah, could be slightly better lighting here. Okay. Let's zoom in. Here's a look at the ports on the side of the laptop. This does not have an Ethernet jack, so if you need a physical Ethernet jack, you're going to have to get a USB to Ethernet jack, and you can get those in USB or USB-C configuration. And this laptop has both, so it wouldn't be a problem either way. And these are your two USB 3.2 ports, I believe. This is your power jack, and this is a headphone jack on the side there. Alright, so I'm going to cut out and come back in with the laptop on, give you some of my impressions. Just hit the power button for the first time and she is powering up. And you see the RGB keyboard, you see the different lights scrolling. This includes Windows 10 on a 512 gig NVMe SSD, which is way too small for me, so I'm going to be purchasing a faster, larger one. So anyway, here's just a quick look at the initial power up, and I'll cut back in when it's all up and running. Alright, well, the computer's all started up now. It took a little while for its initial setup, and then once it was loaded to the start screen, I logged into the Razer Updater, which updated software specific to the device. Also did some of those updates, and I'm back in the system now. The screen is looking absolutely gorgeous. I love that deep contrast with that OLED panel and those deep blacks. Absolutely no light bleed at all, as you would get on a normal IPS LED panel. The keyboard colors are pretty cool. I cycled through a couple different profiles just to play with them briefly. I do like the layout, although I don't like the key travel so much. The ThinkPad laptops have a much nicer feel on the key. The Gigabyte Air 15 X had a much nicer keyboard feel. This has like a very, very low key travel on it. It'll take a little bit of getting used to. Not the best keyboard in the world as far as, you know, that goes for a nice, good tactile feel. But it's okay. It has, you know, the other features that I want, which were superseded that need. So, and I want to also note that you'll need to download Microsoft HEVC drivers for your computer if you get one of these. For example, because I went to Netflix, for example, and none of the titles that I knew were in HDR, as well as ones that were in 4K, weren't showing that. So I did a Google search under why I couldn't play it. It brought me to that Netflix link, and here we go. See, HEVC video extensions from device manufacturer. This is from Microsoft. Got that for free, installed it. Of course, that link was from here. And now when I go to Netflix, the Netflix app, and I look at a title that has HDR capability, for example, now it will actually show HDR. Whereas before I installed those drivers, it would not show HDR on any title that I knew for a fact had HDR. And if I scroll down here, I'll show you a 4K title. Ultra HD 4K. Things like that wouldn't show up either. And it would only show 1080p HD. So that was a simple solution for that. And so yeah, anyway, like in the device so far, it's pretty cool. I mean, with just casual use, with not doing anything heavy, you know, just getting updates done. And anyway, stay tuned for more from me. I'm going to be comparing this to a new ThinkPad that I have, which is basically similar specs to this unit, and a similar screen, except that it's an IPS display and not an OLED display. So you can see a difference between the two, and the backlight and how deeper the blacks are on the OLED panel versus the IPS. I'll also show some benchmarks in other videos, and show you different settings you can do on the keyboard for the colors. It's all pretty cool. So anyway, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you want to stay tuned and see more from me, and I'll see you in the next one.